Okay, now we need to add the auto login functionality to our app. So let's create another screen here, and it will be a splash screen. So just create a new file with the name of splash screen.js. Now start implementing. What we will do, we will check in the splash screen if user is logged in or not. If the user is logged in, then we will navigate it to the group screens. Otherwise we will navigate to the sign in screen, right? So now let's implement it. So import react, then we will use effect hook from react. Okay, then we will have style sheet. Okay, view text image from react native. Then we will import color from utils colors. Then we will need images from constant, then images, import constants, from the constant, and the last we will need Firebase so that we can check if the user is authenticated or not. So that's why we will use Firebase class. Okay, now let's create a function with the name of slash screen navigation. Okay, now we need to design the screen. So it will have background with the gray color, which is our theme color of the app, and at the center we will show the logo. So return, we will add the view here, then inside this view we will add image. So now we need to add the styles. So constant styles equals style sheet dot create logo align self center, then margin, constants dot screen height, container flex 1, then justify content into center, align items. I want the logo to be in center, so that's why I'm using align items to be in center as well. Okay, then give background color to the view, which will be the theme color of the app. So we are done with the styles. Now just add these styles to our review. Style equals styles dot container, then add style to the image as well. Style equals styles dot logo, then the source was images dot logo. Okay, and at the end, don't forget to add this export default splash screen. Save this file, and now we need to add this splash screen to the our router screen, which is main stack navigator. So navigate to this main stack navigator class, and here import splash screen from screens into the splash screens, and inside the stack navigator add stack dot navi stack dot navigator. Okay, just copy just copy this to save some time, and now this will be the splash screen, and also we don't want header, right? So save this file as well. Now if I rerun my project, you will see we have this splash screen, right? So now what we need to do, we need after some, let's say we will add a delay here. Let's say it will be like 1 second or of 2 seconds, then it will navigate automatically to our the sign-in screen or the group screen if user is not authenticated or authenticated, right? So what we will do, after 1 second, from this screen we will navigate a user to the sign-in screen if he is not authenticated, right? If he is authenticated, means he is logged in, then we will navigate it to the group screen. So now in the splash screen here, let's add the code which will check if the user is authenticated or not. So we will add the user effect hook. Okay, then here now we will add another function here, which responsibility is to check if the user is logged in or not, and based on this condition we will navigate it to the desired screens, right? So what should we give them it a name? Function is navigate to auth or group screen. Okay, so now let's add. First we will need to check if the user is authenticated or not, so we will get the current user from Firebase Auth. Okay, auth. Then we will add some delay function so that it will be after some time. So set timeout, then function into this. Now we will check if we have the current user or not. So current user, if it's not equal to null, then navigation dot reset index 0, then routes screen, else, we'll use same this. Here will be the splash screen. Sorry, it will be the sign in screen. Sign in screen. Okay, and then we want all these with after 1 second, so add 1000 millisecond. Okay, and right, so call this function here inside this use effect hook, so it will be called only once. So okay, navigate to author group screen. Here pass navigation. Okay, save this file, and if I run, right, so let me explain it. So what we are doing, we created a function here which is navigate to auth or group screen, right? So first we are getting the user, current user, and then we are adding the timer here, right? I will tell you the the benefits of adding this timer here, and then we check if we have a user, then we will navigate to the group screens, right? So we are just resetting it to 0 index because we have this splash screen in the current stack of the navigation, so we want to remove that as well. And if the user is not logged in, means then we will navigate it to the sign in screens. And same with this reset navigation dot reset, because we don't want the splash screen to be in the navigation stack, so that's why we are resetting the index to the 0 as well. So all these things after 1 second, right? Now we need to add logout the functionality into our app as well, so let's do that. We need to implement the logout functionality to our app, right? So if you remember, we were having some issue adding the logout button into the left of the navigation bar, right? So what I found that I have added here the curly braces. We need to add the round braces, right? So just add this. Now we will implement the sign out functionality. So create the function, arrow function here with the name of sign out user. Okay, it will be a async function, so let's create it. Okay, then we will use the try, then await Firebase .auth .sign out. This is the sign out function from the Firebase. If we successfully log out, then navigate to the splash screen by removing all the navigations into our stack. So it will be resetting to the 0th index, right? So reset index 0, routes name splash screen. If we see the name of splash, it's splash screen, right? Okay, so we have reset the route. Now let's add the catch. Then console.log e. Okay, then we need to call this function here. So sign out user. Now let's save this file, and if I run my project here, So sign in, join now. Okay, we need to show the button here, so it will be a logout button. Save this file. We have added this logout button, and if I click on it, you will see the user is sign out, and it's navigate to the login screen, right? So let's log in again. We are logged in, right? And if I sign out, the user will be navigated to the uh, sign in screen. So that's it for the logout as well. So we successfully implemented the logout functionality to our app, but we are facing some issue whenever for the auto logged in functionality. As you can see, whenever I run the project and if I logged in, you will see if I rerun this project, since I have logged in, it should navigate me to the group screen, but it will navigate me to the sign in screen. So we have to fix this, right? So I just debug it, and I find out that Firebase.auth returns null every time. So I go through some documentation and find out that we need to use Firebase on auth state change listener to follow this auto login functionality, right? So let's implement it. Here inside this timeout function, we will use Firebase .auth .on auth state change. Then here we will get the user who's logged in. So let's name it user. Okay. Then just remove this line and copy all this code here and paste it here. Okay, right, so okay, I think that's an extra here. Okay, yeah, so we need to add this close braces here, right? So that's the Firebase on auth state changed, that's the timeout function, and that's the closing function for the navigate to the auth or group screen, right? So what will happen whenever we logged out, this listener will be called, and then we will check we have the user or not. So replace this current user with the user here, right? On the group screen, we need to comment this line, whose responsibility was to reset the navigation stack. So we won't be using this. Whenever we sign out, what will happen, this callback function will be called, which is on auth state change will be called automatically. Then here we will reset our navigation stack to 0, right? So let's say, okay, now save all these code here, right? And if I run my project here, so I was logged in, so this logout here. So currently I'm not logged in, right? So just logged in with the credentials. My simulator is working slow, I don't know why. It's taking some time to log in, maybe my network issue. So I am logged in successfully, right? So okay, now if I rerun my project, you will see it will not navigate me to the sign in screen, but it will navigate me to the auth screen. So what happens uh, when it's moved to the screen, right? So it gets the user. This is the recommended the function to use on auth state whenever we need to check if user is authenticated or not, right? So uh, then it get the user, right? So user is not null, so it will navigate me to the this screen here. I am navigated to this screen, right? So when I logged on, which is if I go to the group screen, we will see we are signing out the user. If I log out, it gets called on auth state change gets called, and then a user is not found, then we are navigated to the sign in screen, right? So now save all these files. Now we need so we are done with the sign out and auto login functionality of the app. Right now we need to push our code to the master, so let's do that as well.